Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Last Night I Watched. I am Ian, and I'm here to my left. I have Kristian. How's it going, Kristian?
Pretty good.
And I'm here in front of me is Carlos. How's it going, Carlos?
Howdy, howdy.
And last but not least, we have Mark.
How's it going? Good.
Good. And we're talking about Stripes from 1981. Hit it.
What kind of man wears stripes?
Got something in a low-rise bikini?
A real man who can fight his way out of anything. A leader of men, a follower of women.
You can't go!
A tough guy with a soft heart and an even softer head.
Just wish I hadn't drunk all that cough syrup.
Bill Murray in Stripes, rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
So the reason why we're talking about Stripes today is because you chose this, Mark. And why did you choose this movie?
I just wanted to go old school. The stuff that we've been doing lately has been kind of heavy and dramatic, and I just wanted to lighten things up a little bit. And I figured, hey, let's grab Bill Murray and let's do a classic.
Yeah, and a great choice. I said it before. Like, this is, I think, our first comedy.
Yeah.
Like, dedicated to, this is specifically a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad you chose that because to me this is a standout of 80s comedies. There's a lot to choose from, and this one is a very good one.
What'd you think about your rewatch, Mark?
It holds up. I will say that. I've seen it quite a few times over the years, and I watched it again last night, and I laughed at the same places and yelled at the screen at the same places, and it was a good time. How about you, Kristian?
I liked it. I just watched it last night with Ian over here,
I love how we keep saying that. Last night, it's the name of the show, guys. Last night I watched.
He said it. He said the damn thing.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I really liked it.
It's your first time watching it, right?
Yeah, it was the first time I ever watched it, so I'm fresh. Well, not as fresh as Batman because we went right into it with Batman, but yeah, it's a funny ass movie. I really like it. Bill Murray, I think, is funny in it. I know you might not feel the same way, Mark, but
Yeah, we'll get into that.
yeah, yeah. The supporting cast is great. For an '80s movie, I think it holds up very well. Yeah, there's more depth to the characters than in most recent comedies lately, which is awesome. Yeah, I like how Bill Murray's kind of just like this guy. Immediately, almost, he just loses everything. He loses his job, his car, his girlfriend. I don't know. I like the realistic take on the approach to the characters, how they tackle them.
Well, I like how they just look like normal dudes.
Yeah, they're like a band of misfits.
Yeah, I told you, it's I almost feel like we're if we were alive back then, I feel like I was watching myself and Kristian join the army.
Yeah,
It's very relatable because it's just nothing wrong with the Channing Tatums and Brad Pitts of the world, but these dudes are just you can relate to these dudes. Feel like dudes you would know in real life,
Right.
Mm-hmm. They're not supermodels. They're just average Joes. And that's what I like about kind of movies from this era. I think we really strayed off from that for the most part. The only I think I told you this, Kristian. I think the only person I can think of that still maybe maintains that is maybe a Seth Rogen, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's I don't really relate a lot to Ryan Reynolds. I don't think I'm in Ryan Reynolds' league in most things, but maybe Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Carlos, what did you think of this movie? Was this your first time watching it?
No, I've seen it before, and I don't remember liking it when I watched it in the past, and that's probably because I watched Full Metal Jacket beforehand.
I think we were making Full Metal Jacket references.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite movies. But you can actually see a lot of influence because this one was actually created first in 1981. Full Metal Jacket comes later, 1987. Kubrick makes that one. But we have the the barracks, the training. At a certain point in this one, Sergeant Holka says, "Step into my office," and they go into the restroom. And
I think that's the scene that you said was Full Metal Jacket, right? Was that it?
Wait, what
Maybe
scene?
Where they go into the toilet to talk.
And
Oh,
he says, "Go ahead,
yeah.
and swing on me, swing on me."
Yeah.
Yeah, his office.
Because
is
that's
the
where
bathroom.
Gomer Pyle, or maybe he said someone looked like Gomer Pyle or something, and then I was
John
like,
Candy.
okay, because I was like, who the fuck's Gomer Pyle? And like from Full Metal Jacket, I'm like, oh, okay, because that's a reference. Do you know what Gomer Pyle's from?
Yes.
What's that from?
There was a TV show in the 60s
Okay,
named Gomer Pyle, and he was
that's the name of the show.
private. Yeah.
Okay,
Whoa.
I never got that reference. I knew it was a reference to something. I never understood what it was. So thank you for
That's cool.
indulging me on that.
Have you ever seen the actor? He goes, "Golly."
Yeah, I always thought that was like Barney Fife from Andy Griffith or something.
No.
Okay. Okay, so that's where that's from?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
That's cool.
Because doesn't Gomer Pyle kill the drill instructor in a bathroom in Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said that when he goes, Full Metal Jacket.
But yeah, that one has plenty of action and Full Metal Jacket and a lot of death, a lot of blood, and all that good stuff. This one, not so much, so maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it as much on my first watch through. But on this rewatch, I enjoyed it a lot more. Starting to understand the themes a little bit more now that I'm older. Miserable guys trying to just do something with their lives.
Right.
And the army's not the funnest place in the world, so they're just trying to laugh through the whole thing. I still, when I first watched it when I was younger, I was the mud wrestling scene. That's what stood out the most to me, is like, why'd you guys put this in a way? Like, I can't believe that they're showing this in a movie.
Yeah.
In my rewatch, I was like, oh, okay, mud scene is fine. It still doesn't work for me the best.
Oh, okay.
Because it kind of interrupts everything. We're getting the soldiers, we're getting them going into the USSR. Like, that's all fun, but then we cut it up with a little bit of the mud wrestling. I guess that's the comedy aspect.
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there is a reason for it.
What?
They wanted to give John Candy a kind of a scene of
Okay.
his own.
Okay.
That makes sense. Because
That
that's his big scene for sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which I heard John Candy was uncomfortable even shooting that
I
scene.
read that too.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's interesting where this movie's put in time too, because the Vietnam War ends in 1975, so it's been a while. They even reference that. They're like, "There's no more drafts, son."
And then,
What
he
are you
goes,
talking
and then he
about?"
goes, there was one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union, of course, is still around until like 1992. So, I guess that's why we're fighting the Russians in this movie, which is very topical for today with
Yes,
the
it
Russians
is.
attacking Ukraine.
It certainly is.
This is kind of cool that you picked this one, Mark. Some of the jokes definitely hit this time around too. The basketball one is one we were talking about a second ago.
Such a great gag.
That one had me in stitches.
It's such a great gag.
I love how he has a hoop in his
Right.
apartment.
Yeah.
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 just like chilling there.
Oh, another thing I had issues with was when they went into the general's house with the two ladies. I don't know, that was kind of weird how he's like using a spatula to check under her seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of stood out to me as well.
Yeah.
I guess that was all improvised is
Right.
what I was reading.
That does seem like something Bill Murray would just do.
Yeah,
Out of
Ivan
nowhere.
Reitman. He set everything up, set up the kitchen. He walked Bill Murray through it. This is what you got to use.
Yeah.
Do
And
you
both
think-
of them, that whole scene was improvised.
That's
Yeah.
kinda cool.
You just brought up the director Ivan Reitman. I'm glad you chose this because he just passed away, I think, in January.
Yeah, a couple
And
months
I
ago.
went back. I didn't watch this one because I didn't know it was on Netflix. But I also don't have this. I had it as a kid. I think I had it on VHS, and I think I might have had it on DVD too. I'm waiting for the 4K to get individually released in a box set, but I didn't want the box set. But I went back and rewatched some Ivan Reitman movies. He's a very good director. He did Ghostbusters 1 and 2, obviously. He did. He produced Animal House. Have you guys ever seen Animal House?
No.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's when people say like this is like if Animal House joined the military, which I think is a perfect analogy for or to sum up this movie. Yeah, he worked with Bill Murray before on a movie called Meatballs. Have you ever seen that?
Sounds
I rewatched that when Ivan Reitman died, and it's fun. Not as good as this. I'm trying to think. He did Twins. He did
Wait,
a lot
with
of
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's cool.
He did Kindergarten Cop.
Oh,
which-
wow.
One of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies. Very good, very good director.
Yeah.
yeah, I think he just kind of let Bill Murray just kind of improvise a lot. I think the whole cast, actually, I think, from what I read.
A lot of it was, yeah.
Yeah.
When they sit around and with Hulka, and they're talking about their backgrounds, all that was improvised.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. I hear a lot of comedies do that nowadays, too, and I feel like it's more obvious now. I remember watching Bridesmaids. Our buddy Jason downloaded that when that came out, and I remember it just being like, okay, they obviously just said, just talk, and it's, for some reason, it's just so much more obvious than with this. I don't know why. I have no idea why. To me, there's so much better of a flow when they're talking in this.
Yeah.
It's just flows so much better. I don't know if it's because all these people came from kind of comedy troupes, like Harold Ramis and I think Ivan Reitman and John Candy. They worked on this show called SCTV in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
It was kind of almost like Saturday Night Live. And I think having that kind of previous repertoire, if you will, helps.
I think that when I was watching interviews between all the actors, they kept referencing that troupe that they did comedy with, and they said we could never have made this movie without being in that. Like,
Right.
You can't act with non-comedians. It's just not the same flow.
Right. Yeah.
Most all the actors said that actually in the
Right.
interviews.
Yeah, and I think it shows in the movie for sure.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, that does help.
Go ahead.
I was just saying it does help with the comedy backgrounds.
Yeah.
Having that connection and that chemistry.
I think Harold Ramis and Bill Murray have great chemistry.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this.
Yeah, they do.
Because I heard they wanted to cast somebody else in Harold Ramis's place. I forget who it was.
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, and no, that would not have worked as well.
No.
You gotta
Harold-
get Randy Quaid.
Exactly. Yeah. I told them about our Randy Quaid. You call him Randall Randy Quaid. Anyway, that's a whole other subject. Yeah, Harold Ramis is just they work so well together.
They do.
Like, you can tell they're friends, you know. Like, I buy it. You don't care for Bill Murray?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
There are a few instances where he's okay. He in this movie he refused to do it unless Ramis did it, and because Ramis could help him between takes, rewrite his lines in the script. You know, it's that thing. You were talking earlier about comedians get it, non-comedians don't. One of the chicks, her name is Sean Young, the one that hooked up with Ramis. She got upset because Murray was ad-libbing everything,
Right.
and she couldn't keep up with him.
Yeah, I read that too.
And so he got upset with her, and he will never work with her again.
Wow.
Well, I told Kristian because I like Sean Young. She's Rachel in Blade Runner. She's the bad person in Ace Ventura. I like her, but she sounds kind of nuts in real life.
Really?
She was supposed to be Vicky Vale in the 1989 Batman, and she fell off a horse and broke her arm, so she couldn't be in it. And she wanted to be Catwoman in the second one so badly. After they cast Michelle Pfeiffer, they told her, like, sorry, we already cast Michelle Pfeiffer, it's already done. She dressed up as Catwoman and went to Warner Brothers and just bothered everybody, like Tim Burton, and they had to hide from her because she was so adamant on being Catwoman.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she
Jesus.
sounds kind of like a wacky broad. I like her, though. I like her a lot as an actress.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe that's like two wacky people just not getting along.
Right, yeah. And the only reason that they cast her was because they wanted somebody cute
Right,
opposite Ramis.
right.
So, yeah.
It
And
works.
here's another thing about Murray. He showed up 2 days late. He showed up 2 days after filming started. They didn't even know whether he accepted the job until 2 weeks before they started shooting.
I heard he did the same thing with Meatballs, too.
Yeah, I think they had here's the thing, you can't get a hold of him unless you talk to him directly. And come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got and the thing about it, which I can't decide whether it's a cool thing or not. The reason that he was 2 days late for filming was that he was at a Chicago Cubs series. And so, being a Cubs fan, and he's a Cubs fan, I can't decide whether that's cool or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, there are spots in like with the basketball and with him, you can't leave, the plants will die.
Yeah, that's a great line.
That kind of stuff is freaking funny. I love that stuff. But then when he's out on the parade ground and he's using this, the way that he talks to the general, and I'm I can't understand what the hell he's saying.
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah.
Well, but he's saying other things, he
Right.
contorts his body and points at him and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's that kind of stuff when he gets really Bill Murray-she like
Yeah.
that I have a big problem with him.
I can get it. I can see
Yeah.
why someone would have that.
You said you had something?
I myself never really understood the Bill Murray hype. I was always on this website called Chive, and there was a big deal of Bill Murray.
Right.
Bill fucking Murray.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah,
like,
one of my
okay,
buddies had a bunch of Bill Murray shirts. I think they were from Chive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill
Well-
F. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big...
in this movie, he's with these really hot babes. In Ghostbusters, he's getting with Sigourney Weaver, and he's such a player. And I never bought him as like a super duper.
I think
sex
that's
guy.
why I like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it gives hope for us guys. Not us, me. It's like, man, maybe if Bill Murray could do it, maybe I could do it someday.
Yeah. You don't gotta be Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I get it though. Yeah, it is kind of like, how the fuck is he landed PJ Souls? Where's PJ Souls? He's whacking her around with a fucking spatula and
And a
then
rolling
they're having sex. Like what? I think they have sex, right? I know Harold Ramis had sex with Sean. Kristian pointed out they get out of like a box.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Or
that's
something.
right.
It's like, how the hell did that work? But, yeah.
I think that was the punchline. Huh?
Yeah.
But my favorite Bill Murray is Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Bill Murray as Groundhog Day,
Directed by Harold Ramis.
and that's where his personality comes in handy because he's so oh man, what is it? I don't know. I don't want to say shallow and pedantic for some reason. That's what comes to mind. But like in that one, you're of course gonna go crazy if you're just reliving the same day over
Yeah.
and over again. So of course
He's
you're
got
gonna
a
be an
decent arc
asshole.
in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then in like Ghostbusters, he's very shallow too. In this movie, he's like has a very shallow outlook on life, and it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like all of them are like that. I really like Scrooged.
I like
Scrooge.
that. Oh, he has an arc in Scrooge too. That's a good
Yeah.
Bill Murray movie. That's fun to watch around Christmas time. Yeah.
And see, it's okay until the end. When he
Right.
starts talking into the camera, I'm like, now he's getting Bill Murray.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, dude,
Right,
man.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that for sure.
I'm not the biggest Bill Murray fan, but he did okay in this one.
I'm not. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd say I like him. I like Bill Murray movies. I like Groundhog Day. I like Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I like this movie. I like Meatballs. I'm trying to think of other Bill Murray movies. That might be it. But
Zombieland.
I like him in Zombieland. He's
Yeah.
very funny in Zombieland. That's one of the funniest parts of the movie. Yeah. I like him in, he's in a lot of Wes Anderson movies, and I like him in those.
Oh, that's right.
Wes Anderson, you can, not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that, but I've always liked Wes Anderson movies. Yeah.
Osmosis Jones.
I don't know about Osmosis Jones.
Oh my god, with his big old pimple on his forehead.
yeah,
and Osmosis
boy.
Jones.
He always grossed me the fuck out in that
He's
movie.
a very
growing up.
disgusting person in that movie, yeah. Yeah, he eats stuff off the floor and whatnot.
Wait,
yeah,
is that another Will Smith movie?
No, that's Chris Rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it's Chris Rock as
Osmosis Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. I like him. He's a bad guy in Kingpin, and I like him in that too. But I don't know. I just I do find him funny. One of my favorite lines he has in this movie is when his girlfriend, right before she leaves the apartment, she's all you do all day is just watch reruns of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and you play Tito Puente records. And then Bill Murray goes, when Tito Puente dies, you're gonna have the privilege of telling everybody that you've been listening to Tito Puente records for years and how much of a big a fan you are. 'Cause I thought that was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because that's just so that's just what everybody does when somebody dies. It's like that's just I just thought that was a very funny line.
Especially on social media now.
Exactly. Whenever anybody dies, oh, I've liked them so much, listening to them for years. It's just like that's just so on the nose. Like that's just great.
Wait, did you do that in the intro of this podcast?
Oh,
Ivan
what?
Reitman?
What do you mean?
When you were talking about Ivan Reitman died, you started watching all of his movies?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey!
Yeah,
Got
exactly.
him.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been watching Ivan Reitman movies for years. Okay? I've been watching Ghostbusters a long time when I was a little kid. Yeah, no, that's the way it goes, and it's just funny. It's a funny line. I don't know if he came up with that. He probably did.
Yeah.
But yeah, just his wit.
If you go, all the plants will die.
Yeah, that's a good line too.
I love that's the line.
Yeah. Well, I read this. I don't know when I read this. I didn't really know of it. I might have heard it from someone I watched on YouTube or something. But when Bill Murray made Groundhog Day, that totally severed his and Harold Ramis's friendship, because I guess he was just so hard to work with and just such a prick behind the scenes on that movie that he and Harold Ramis never spoke until Harold Ramis was dying.
Whoa.
So then they reconciled. That's why I heard they never made a Ghostbusters 3 with the actual Ghostbusters, just because he and Harold Ramis just couldn't stand each other after Groundhog Day.
That's crazy.
And
That's sad.
that's why I just find it. That's why I kind of just don't pay attention to. I didn't pay attention to the Ghostbusters they made in 2016. I didn't pay attention to the new one, even though I guess a lot of people like the new one. But it just, to me, I don't know. It's not the same. It's just kind of, if they were to ever have done another Ghostbusters, they would have done it in the early mid 90s, and it would have actually still felt like Ghostbusters. Say what you will about Ghostbusters 2, but it still feels like a Ghostbusters movie to me, since it still has the 4 original Ghostbusters. And just, they go on talk shows and say how great Harold Ramis was, and it's like, Bill Murray says how much of a genius, and he probably feels that way, but at the same time, it's like, dude, you could not stand the guy for 25 years, and then he dies, and then now he's great again. I don't know. To me, that just comes across as kind of a lame.
Right.
But Ghostbusters sells a lot of tickets, so you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, that's that's the only dig I can say on Bill Murray.
Favorite characters, guys? Ian?
I don't really know. It's tough. I like we haven't talked about him yet. John Leroquette as the idiot sergeant guy or whatever the hell he is. He's playing with his toys.
Captain. I think he's the captain.
He's captain. Okay, yeah. He's funny. He's not my. I don't know if he's my favorite, but I do like him. I think he's funny. It always blows my mind that he did the opening narration of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think I brought that up in our Texas Chainsaw episode.
That's pretty
it's
cool.
So random.
That is random.
He's funny. I might go with John Candy. John Candy's pretty good in this. I like when they shave his head and he's walking out with the pile of hair in his hand. And he just kind of mopey.
That is funny.
I always think that's a funny moment in this movie.
That was real.
Yeah, I read that too.
Yeah.
I guess they really didn't want to cut their hair.
Oh.
Which is understandable.
I like John Candy's introduction to in the bus station.
Yeah. What does he say? Is there a movie? Is there a movie on this flight? And then he was walking away. He said, "Is there a movie on this flight? Oh, that's gold," or whatever he says. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I like the mud wrestling. I'm almost a total opposite of you. I think the mud wrestling scene might be my favorite scene.
Okay.
I've always I don't know if it's because there's tits in it or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just always liked it. I've always found mud wrestling to be such an odd thing. In a fascinating way, it's just such a strange thing to do. But it seems fun also.
I was listening to this nice old lady interview John Candy, and she's like, "That mud wrestling scene, that was pretty crazy." But is that like a new sport? Like, what's going on? Is that something that the Canadians do? Because John Candy's Canadian,
right?
And he's like, "Yeah, it's coming. It'll be really big here soon. Just
I
get
think
ready."
It was a big thing in the 80s, I
Really?
think. That's what I've always heard. Yeah, it was I think that was the only time it was ever big. It was just big in the 80s and then went away. We need to bring it back. We need to find mud wrestling shows around here and go to one. But yeah, I guess I'd go with John Candy.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Yep, good pick.
What about you, Kristian? Do you have a favorite character?
I'd say John Candy.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ian.
Yeah,
Ian's opinion.
he's a funny one.
Yeah. I don't know. John Candy's always been so. He's so cute.
Yeah.
There's something about him that I've always admired. That
I know what you mean.
yeah.
He's a
Like,
sweet guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's a bit of a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He's like the lovable oaf in a way. And I guess that's maybe almost calling him an oaf is an insult, but like I don't know. He's just like that, yeah, the big warm guy.
I like him in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes.
But my favorite is he plays Barf in Spaceballs.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Chewbacca character.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That's
Pray to
Barf.
God.
Yeah. God.
Barf. Puke.
Yeah, Pizza the Hut.
Yeah.
Pizza the Hut.
Puke, whatever. That's a good line.
Yeah.
Mark, did you have a favorite character?
Sergeant Hulka, buddy.
Yeah, he's good
I
too.
love
Warren
Hulka.
Oates. Yeah, he's good.
He's just so dry, and
Yeah.
when they were doing the circle thing, when they were all talking about their backgrounds, they had to film that a couple of times because he kept smiling
Oh,
at some of the backgrounds. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I think he's got the best line in that. When he goes, "Lighten up, Francis."
Yep,
It's like,
Francis.
You're gonna call me psycho. You touch my stuff, I'll kill you. You call me Francis, I'll kill you. Lighten up, Francis. Like that's such a fun. Like go fuck yourself. Sit down.
I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if you read this or not. Okay, his name is Psycho and his name is Francis. Okay, Francis is the middle name of Norman Bates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Interesting.
Norman Francis Bates.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
And of
Wow.
course, him being called Psycho
That's
is
fucking funny.
Norman
I didn't
Bates
know
and
that.
Psycho.
That's
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So it's pretty slick.
Norman.
The bathroom scene with Murray. Murray told him to hit him normally.
Oh,
Don't
wow.
pull the punch.
That's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah. They could not decide whether to keep that scene in or not because it was so heavy and serious. And Murray kind of just, kept at Reitman at him until he gave in, and they were glad that they kept it in.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's a very good scene between the two.
yeah. But, and I want to say, when John Leroquette was watching the ladies showering, he says something about I'd give anything to be a loofah,
Yeah.
and
It's Ivan Reitman.
Ivan
What a
Reitman
loo- Yeah.
asked him what a loofah was.
Yeah. I didn't know what a loofah was until like 5 years ago. So yeah, I've never even used one.
Same.
That's a great scene. That's such like when I think of 80s comedies, that happens a lot. Guys spying on girls in the shower. Revenge of the Nerds. I think it happens in Police Academy. Like that's such a trope, but it's just, and I don't know if it'd fly nowadays, but for some, I don't know. It's just so, and of course, like 9 times out of 10, they get caught too. And it's like he shatters the glass. We mentioned a lot of glass shattering. Like he just like drops the telescope out through the glass. Like it's just so funny.
Yeah.
It's such a cliche joke, but it's just funny. I don't know why. It's just kind of funny. Getting caught looking at naked women is funny. I don't know why. So Carlos, who's your favorite character?
What's your favorite
I
character?
was gonna say Sergeant Hulka too.
Okay.
He's a standout for me because I do love the sergeant in Full Metal Jacket as well.
Yeah, he might be the best sergeant ever.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of a sergeant, I think of him in Full
Lee
Metal Jacket.
Ermey?
Arlie Ermey, I think his name was. He's the army man in fucking Toy Story. Like that he's just that iconic voice.
Oh, he plays the little
Arlie
army
Ermey,
guys?
yeah, Full Metal Jacket. It's Toy Story.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Did not know that.
But Sergeant Hulk is great too.
And I like in this one, Hulk actually lives through the bathroom scene, so we get to see him later on come back when they're in Russia.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like trying to clean up after them.
Yeah.
He's like, bunch of freaking idiots.
Yeah.
And he just bails out of the truck.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, he has a lot of good facial expressions too. When he's about to be blown up by the mortar, he's just going, "Oh."
Right. Yeah.
Step into my office is probably one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
I think my dad always says that to me ever since I was little. He always says, step into my office.
I remember Kristian's like, wait, his office is the bathroom.
Yeah.
Is the toilets.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You gotta, everybody's got their favorite type of space.
Yeah.
You know?
Step into my office.
He he rope climbs up to the platform. You know.
Oh, that was
Does he
cool.
say which one of you sissies want to come up here and knock me off?
Yeah, and then
or
he gets
something?
blown up. Yeah, that was fun.
He's a total badass in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, Hulk
That's
for me.
That's a great choice.
Yeah.
I do like Harold Ramis's character though too. It was either going to be him or John Candy
I
for
think
me.
this might have been one of Ramis's first like live parts.
Yeah.
And it's one of his few. He didn't do a lot of acting.
Yeah, he was in
I feel.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's true. Ghostbusters, yeah.
I can't tell you anything else he was in.
He was mainly because I think he wrote and directed Caddyshack also,
That's right. Yeah.
and he directed Groundhog Day. We already mentioned that. Yeah, I think he preferred to be more behind the scenes.
You really didn't have to do much writing in Caddyshack.
That's true.
That's one of those things where you just let him go.
That's true. That's a great fucking cast. That's a great fucking cast. But yeah, I do like Harold Ramis's character. He's just kind of, I like in the beginning when he's teaching he's like teaching an English class to non-speaking English
And he gets them all
crowd.
to sing.
Yeah,
Do
like that was
run.
fun. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I don't know. He's just a likable guy. He's the likable friend, Yeah, I like him a lot too.
Do you guys have any favorite scenes in the movie? Christian, what stands out the most?
I love the urban assault vehicle that they go around in. That vehicle itself is really cool to me.
Yeah.
That whole sequence where they're going around in it, I think is pretty hilarious. And I couldn't understand how the chick could see while she was driving.
We were trying to figure that out, right?
Yeah,
When Sean Young's driving, it's like, how can you see? Because
Yeah,
like the
she had a periscope, didn't
oh,
she? I think she had a
okay.
is
periscope.
that
I
it?
remember a periscope,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that makes more sense.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, oh, but Harold Ramis is like playing Atari or something.
Yeah.
Like the joysticks or whatever.
Right.
Maybe he's driving it. I don't know.
Yeah, we
But-
were kind of scratching our heads about that.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense now.
That
with
does
the
make sense.
periscope.
Yeah.
At the beginning, when the thing's shut down, it pops down in front of her.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right.
Cool.
That's a
Yeah.
good choice.
What about you, Ian? What's your favorite?
I already said the mud wrestling scene.
That's right, you did.
We were under the influence of some alcoholic beverages while watching this, so maybe we just weren't paying attention. But why did they get arrested at the end of the mud wrestling scene? We could not figure that out.
Yeah, that was weird. They just like all of a sudden the cops just show up and
Yeah,
they're like, all right, break
like-
it up. Yeah, mud wrestling. You
Yeah, it's like,
fuckers."
was mud wrestling illegal or something? Was it like an illegal sport?
I don't remember.
And then they get
Why
taken.
did they bust
So PJ Souls, Sean Young whisk away Harold Ramis and Bill Murray, but all the other guys get taken back to the camp, and John Leroquette gives him a tongue lashing.
Well, because I think the soldier's supposed to be on base. not
That I
off
get,
base,
but
yeah.
why did the cops come?
Wasn't it the military police?
I think it was just the regular police, wasn't it?
Because the two girls.
How the hell would the
MPs.
military police find him?
I don't know.
I don't know either. When Kristian brought it up, he's like, "Why are they getting arrested?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't know." I get the sense that the military would be pissed off that they're supposed to be on base. That I get. I just don't get. It seemed like the cops broke up the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like it was like a bust, like it was a drug bust or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was lewdness, but that doesn't make sense. Like strip joints, it's the same fucking thing. I don't know.
They just weren't ready for mud wrestling back
I
then.
guess not. Mud wrestling was just too risque. I have no idea. But regardless, it's my favorite scene in the movie. It's the one I always remember. I remember as a kid, like it stood out. It still does as an adult. I think it's funny.
It is.
That's just me
It
though.
is. It's a good scene.
Yeah. What about you, Mark?
I don't know if this is considered one scene, but basically almost the whole time he's in his apartment.
Yeah.
From when she's getting dressed, the plant thing, Ramis shows up, throws the basketball. I like all of that. I think they're at. To me, I think Murray's at his best there because he's not a dick. I mean, that's the best way I can say it.
Right.
And I will say, for his benefit, for most of this movie, he's not a dick.
Right.
I will give him that.
Yeah.
He's got his moments that I can't do. But anyway, that's getting off the subject. One thing that I remember when you were talking about the platoon being brought back and John Leroquette getting on him about it, John Leroquette was drunk.
I read that too.
Yeah.
He didn't seem drunk to me.
Yeah, he looked normal. That's crazy.
I read that a lot of the cast was drunk because I guess it had to do with John Lennon getting shot while they were filming.
Whoa.
Which I guess maybe, you know, go out to the bar, you know, for John Lennon, you know, like, you know, maybe too many toasts to John Lennon. I don't know.
Dang.
Because that was a huge deal when that happened, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was their generation. Him and the
Exactly.
Beatles.
I'm sure they all had very fondness of listening to the Beatles. So, yeah, that's strange to me. Like, he didn't seem drunk at all. But apparently he was. He hit it very well.
Carlos, your scene.
Favorite scene. I did like when they all woke up late for the the graduation.
Right. Yeah.
And they all show up and start doing their little bit and singing "Do-a-diddy." I don't know why that general would pick them up for the super special operation.
Because they're go-getters.
Yeah,
They're go-getters.
yes, yeah,
They certainly
exactly.
are.
Yeah.
They stand out in the crowd for sure,
Right,
but they all
yeah.
looked like a mess because they just
Yeah,
woke up. Their shirts are all
exactly.
untucked and everything.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Bill Murray shined in that spot too.
Right,
taking
yeah.
leadership, and he still injected it with his comedy too.
Right.
Yeah, I like the stuff they did with their rifles,
Yeah.
the choreography.
They did it really
a
well
good job.
too. Like you could tell like they actually learned how to do all that stuff, which is cool. That's one thing that like this almost sounds like on paper like really bad, almost like misfits are gonna join the army. What kind of wacky hijinks are gonna happen? Like that sounds like so bad and corny.
Yeah.
But they make it work. They make it funny. Like it just works so well.
Yeah,
I think it's because you had such like great comedic minds behind this. Because I could see this. I think Pauly Shore did a army movie in the '90s where it's the same fucking thing. It's like it's No Stripes.
Yeah,
From what I have seen, it's No Stripes.
What movie is that?
I think it's called In the Army Now. And the whole kind of joke in the movie is Pauly Shore is in the army.
Oh, okay.
And like, yeah, it's not the same.
I've not seen that.
I don't think a lot of people have.
Right.
But yeah.
Whatever Pauly Shore did, I tried to stay away from.
Yeah, I like Encino Man, and he's not even the star of that, so maybe that's why I like it. But anyway.
Yeah, the thing about this movie is it's very, it reflects the time very, very well.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Harold Ramis, whenever he wrote something, he always put, because he was a big, he was against the Vietnam War. And so whenever he wrote something, he tried to write something in there about that, about his not liking it. And it's pretty, when Bill Murray says that we've been kicking ass for 200 years and we're 10-1, that was Ramis's jab.
Okay.
For, yeah. And
That's
even
funny.
after he says it, they kind of pop the camera over to Ramis and he kind of smirks a little bit.
That's funny. Huh.
So,
That's cool.
but yeah, I mean, it just, and the thing is, I was thinking about this. Okay, you're on the bridge with the old lady. You get out, you throw your keys. What does the old lady do?
Gets hit by other
That's the
cars.
first thing I thought about. That is, what does
funny.
she do? She's got 800 pounds of
Luggage.
luggage
Yeah,
back.
right.
You know,
Kristian, you made a Dumb and Dumber reference, didn't you? Like, doesn't Jim Carrey say and like to when he's driving the chick in the beginning of Dumb and Dumber, like like accidents happening at the airport or driving to
Yeah.
the airport?
75% of accidents happen usually on the way to the airport.
Yeah, and I didn't even think of that at all because like that's exactly almost what happens in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
I like when I like in that scene when like Bill Murray's like, oh, I shouldn't have drank all that cough medicine earlier. Like that's a funny line too.
yeah.
Um,
When he was loading her luggage, he actually hit himself in the nuts.
oh god,
When he says, "Oh my balls,"
Oh, that
he
actually
actually,
happened.
yeah,
That's
he actually hit
hilarious.
himself when he was loading.
that's good.
Yep.
Nothing like a good on that shot.
Hell yeah.
I thought the ending was pretty unique too. How they show like newspapers or magazines of what everybody's doing after the movie.
That's a very because I rewatched Animal House recently, and they do the same thing there. It's fucking funny. Like one person like John Belushi's character is like a total slob idiot in the movie, and it's like now Senator of California running for president. Like it's like a little like where are they now thing. It's like it's very funny, very funnily done. And yeah, they do it the same. I got a lot of Animal House vibes from
Like
this
Sergeant
movie.
Hulka retires or something like that.
Yeah, I forget. Like John Leroquette's stuck somewhere. Like
Oh, the Arctic Circle.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That was
That,
that was funny.
Now, to me, this is kind of the Holy Trinity. Animal House, Caddyshack, and Stripes. They're
Yeah.
kind of the big three as far as that particular time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when we first were talking about, hey, let's do a comedy, you know, those three hit me,
Yeah.
and I just kind of blurted out Stripes first, you know, and then we all just kind of pounced on that.
No, I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
sure.
This is good. I
Yeah.
like this movie.
Going back to the Where Are They Now, my favorite one is Harold Ramis's. It says, Zisky rates the Russians. They're pussies.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
I like that.
Guts magazine.
Guts
or some
magazine.
shit.
It's like if you can read it, I think it's like below it says magazines for men or something. I like that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you texted us that, and you made again references to what's going on over there in Ukraine and
I
Russia
read
right now.
Zelensky at
Yeah.
first instead of Zisky.
That would have been very fitting. Very fitting. Yeah, that was funny.
All right, Kristian, what do you give this movie out of 5 stripes?
4.5 out of 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I really enjoyed it. It's hilarious.
Nice.
That's a good rating.
Thank you.
Ian, what would you rate Stripes?
Shit, man. I don't know. I'm struggling between 4 and 4.5 because oh man. I do really like this movie a lot.
We're on a streak. We have a lot of agreements on this movie.
I always used to Roman will always go first, and like 9 times out of 10 my rating would be the same as Roman's.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're the new Roman now cuz I might go oh man.
Sorry, Roman.
I might go 4.5. Fuck it, I'll just go 4.5. It's a great 80s comedy. It's a great Bill Murray comedy. It's a great like military comedy. It's just a great movie. Funny, you know. When I think of this movie, I usually tend to forget the third act with the Limp Bizkit Urban Assault vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, not that it's bad or anything. It's just I always remember. It's like Full Metal Jacket. I totally forget that there's like a whole other movie after the drill, the basic training drill instructor stuff. Ugh, I can't talk. I don't know why. I just always remember those scenes from those movies, and not that the rest of the movie is in both senses are bad afterwards. It's just for some reason I always remember those scenes specifically. But really, I can't talk a lot of shit about this movie, man. It's so fucking funny. It does its job, you know? I mean, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of that. Now, I can't tell you the last, like, comedy I saw was, like nowadays, I was like, that was hilarious. You know, I feel like we're kind of in a rut on comedies, unfortunately. But, this was
soon.
yeah, hopefully, because this was a golden era, for sure, comedies. It's a standout of 80s comedies, definitely. But anyway, I'll stop talking. Mark.
Mark, what do you give this movie?
Giving it a 4.
Nice.
2 things hold it back. I don't like the third act.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. We get through basic, and I can see why, you know, they want to put them out there, and, you know, it's like they're squeezing one last, you know, half hour, 45 minutes out of these guys, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always had that gripe about it.
I get what you mean.
It is pretty forgettable, the third act.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Like, that's just what I take away from it.
Yeah.
There is some cool shit, though. Like Kristian said earlier, you know, them blowing shit up and whatnot. There is some stuff in there that's funny. Like, that works.
Yeah, I think it is too, because, you know, you're looking at this motorhome, then all of a sudden it's launching rockets. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then when they, you know, unveil it, you know, and you're looking at a
Right.
green RV.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
And second thing's Bill Murray.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
4 is still good though.
Myself, I would give this one a 3 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
It's not really my type of movie, my type of comedy, I guess you could say. Like Mark says, I'm not the biggest Bill Murray fan. I never understood the hype. I did laugh out loud at a couple parts in this movie, but overall, like, I don't know, maybe I'm too big of a prude. They do depend a lot on sex. Or the woman's body, and that stuff. Maybe it's from being like a kid and watching movies in the theaters with my parents, and you know how people always say, "Oh man, I gotta watch this with my parents."
Right? Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm such a prude when it comes to movies. I prefer less of the skin.
Well, and again, that's such a trope for like late '70s, pretty much all the '80s comedies, even like the '90s and the American Pies. You know, like those. Yeah, those teen sex comedies.
It is crazy that all that stuff is in this movie, though, because we don't have that today. We don't have a lot of mud wrestling stuff.
I don't know if it's, again, like, you know, if it's objectifying women or whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
And you know, I'm a big fan of John Candy, of course, like we were saying, Spaceballs and all that. But I don't think he shines big enough in this movie. I feel like nobody really gets that shining moment. Where it's like, oh man, yeah, that's why I'm a big John Candy fan. Oh yeah, that's why, you know, I'm a big Harold Ramis fan. Harold Ramis was fine in this movie, but it was his first like acting gig,
right? And
he doesn't have like that big like, ooh yeah,
right.
Harold Ramis, the best.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like Bill Murray being like a douchebag the whole time. I'm just not into that kind of humor. Yeah. So
it's understandable.
Yeah. But I do like that they're fighting the Russians, and it's cool to look back on 81 and see what they were doing in that time.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 for me, guys.
Nice.
Sounds good. The thing about the nudity, I don't think John Leroquette's nudity was necessarily needed in it.
Yeah.
That was like just gratuitous. It didn't need to be there.
Right, the shower, yeah.
But, you know,
it's a good gag, I guess.
I think it's funny. The reason why I think it's funny is it's not in the sense of this is what I take away from it. Like, I think the reason why it's funny is because he looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to be doing your job and you're spying on naked chicks. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Come on. That's why I find it funny.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I hope that's what they were going for. Like, that's the point of the joke. But
I mean, I think they could have maybe filmed it where they didn't show them, make the scene smaller, so he's just started,
right?
Yeah. And then the guy, the general comes in or whatever.
Sex sells. What are you gonna do?
but you're going to have the mud wrestling scene. I mean, they have got to go on. You know whatever it is, they got the time off. You know, they're going to do that, or they're going to leave with it when they're not supposed to. I mean, that's just standard Army stuff.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I can say though, for 1981, they give you the bang for your buck. Like, if you're gonna buy a movie ticket, it's all in there.
Definitely.
You got everything in this movie.
Definitely.
You got the laughs. Completely agree. You got the.
If I were did you see this in the theater?
No.
Okay. If I were a 1981 moviegoer, I would have been very satisfied after walking out.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I think that's what they wanted.
Yeah. Are we decided on what we're going to review? And it's very topical as of what just happened.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk about G.I. Jane. We're gonna celebrate the 25th anniversary of G.I. Jane.
Woo woo.
Yeah. Because something just happened where there was a joke made at someone's expense about it. And I guess we're gonna talk about that. I wanted to talk about Wild Wild West for that same reason. There's a dude who stars in Wild Wild West that just went and did something funny, and I think we're gonna say that for the summer. So cool. That'll be our summer blockbuster shit show episode.
Yes, look forward to it.
Yeah, but next week G.I. Jane with Demi Moore.
Woo woo.
Yeah, all of us have not seen it.
All of us have not seen it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
1997.
It's the 25th anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So look forward to that next week, guys.
Yeah.
And we'll have another episode of Halo coming out too for episode 3. Yeah. We'll see you guys then.
Yes.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time, thank you, and let us know what you thought of the movie also below.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe.
Yep. Subscribe. And comment. Let us know how we're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, let us know like how dumb we are, or how smart we are. Maybe in the middle.
Smash the dislike button, even though you can't see it.
Yeah.
See the dislike count.
No.
No, like the video, please.
Yeah.
All right. Until next time, guys.
Until next time.
Bye.
See ya.